Hello, you're watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Lecture and Androgon on YouTube Live.
Hmm.
Now we'll begin. Let Androgon start off the show if he wants to.
Sure. We're here talking to you about what's being done to you in the world in which you live today. You are struggling with crises that are causing you to become confused, drained, terrorized, traumatized, and more
Persecuted.
persecuted because you have been misinformed about a whole bunch of issues concerning who you are, what you're doing here, where you came from, your connections to each other, to the divine, to the planet herself. And so today, the human race is under siege, literally. And as the avatar says, you're going through a transition that is going to lead you into a transformation that she calls a new way of being. And that's a way of living that teaches people how to work together
Mhm.
to build a world that works for everyone, that isn't fair and unjust to no one, and which serves the greater good of all of life and all life forms in life, and in the process serves one's own greatest good and one's own
Highest
highest ideal at the
ideals.
same time.
Yeah.
COVID-19 is here. It is a pandemic created with a technology that is being used to attack the avatar and the family from inside the fourth dimension by people who are wearing something we call cloaks of invisibility that allows them to morph their human bodies to look like shadows as they teleport themselves to the fourth dimension, infecting your bodies with a disease that is not a virus and a disease which is no more contagious than the common flu. You're also dealing with something that is called the greatest threat facing human beings today, global warming or climate change.
Mhm.
And we're telling you that global warming and climate change are irreversible evidence of Lady Gaia,
Mhm.
the earth goddess, repairing, purifying, cleansing, and purging her planet sized landmass of all the poisons and toxins and other damages done to her over the ages so that she can restore and transform her planet sized landmass back into the global tropical paradise, which she has provided to the human race and to other mortal tenants who have lived on the surface of a landmass for trillions of years. So you've been misinformed about what's been done to you with this disease that they're calling COVID, and you have gotten a complete misunderstanding of what climate change actually is. It's not something that is going to bring an end to human life or to destroy it. It's going to transform and upgrade life on this planet into the kind of Garden of Eden that it existed in when Lady Gaia first came into this three-dimensional realm trillions of years ago. So we're here, Avatar Electra, the great goddess who lived as Lord Jesus, as Lord Buddha, as Lord Krishna, as the Lady Harriet Tubman, and other iconic beings back on the planet to show you the way to the truth, the light, and the knowledge that you're carrying.
Yes.
And she's here in person, being terrorized from the day that she arrived here as a newborn baby girl of mostly Caribbean, African Caribbean heritage. So, Avatar, you're looking beautiful with your stylish hair. Um, you've been living, forced to live a life of living hell from the time that you showed up on this planet. And Donald J. Trump as being the mercenary who has been given the authority to target, terrorize, attack, torment, torture, rape, and literally kill your human life, and has been doing that for over 4 decades using this technology with vast fourth dimension capabilities given to him by Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House in the U.S. Congress today. So, this broadcast is one which we continue to do, even though we have been disabled, our account have been disabled from Facebook and even from YouTube, except for this one, because they're saying we're spreading misinformation about what's going on this planet, and that we should not be allowed to speak to you, the people, to share a body of compelling
Information that we know and want the
yes,
public to become aware of.
yes.
Yes.
So, um, how are you feeling?
I'm not feeling so good. I could hardly speak. I mean, they removed some of my teeth. They cut off my hair completely, so that I have no hair,
Donald Trump,
practically. Yeah,
yes.
and made sure they deformed me, put lines and so on to deform my face and how I look,
Mm,
and cut off all my hair and left me with nothing.
mm,
So I have to wear a wig. I am very disappointed in what we have been put through.
mm,
The United States, um, when my children went to school in the United States and they came from school and were talking to their friends who were Caucasians, um, the United States government said that they're supposed to go. I forgot already.
Well, one of the problems that the avatar currently has is because of the damage is done to the cavities of the brain by Donald J. Trump using an electronic knife that's made of light to attack the cavities of her brain. He's managed to fracture the connection that she has with the conscious memory. So she is a verbal martial artist when she is in her element, and he's managed to prevent and block her from accessing information about the past, about her lived experiences. So, and even when she's speaking, he continues to attack her.
Properly.
And part of the attacks, including dimming her eyesight, which was
Yes.
2020 vision.
Attacking the air so that I
Mhm.
will not be able to hear after a while,
Mhm.
and attacking different parts of my body.
Loosening the skin.
Yes, loosening the skin so that they can make me look like my skin is flabby.
Yes.
I've seen other people that was done to them, younger kids, and they were showing skin hanging from their bodies.
Mm.
I did not realize that people were doing that to them until I saw that what he has been doing to me.
Mm.
I have suffered a great deal all of my life in Canada and in the United States. And Nancy Pelosi told the United States, Trump and Prime Minister Trudeau, they, they killed out many of my family. And I have not been able to go to find out if I have any family left. In the United States, Nancy Pelosi was telling people that I am a lesbian when I've never been interested in females in that way. And I also became very angry after a period of how I've been treated by the systems,
Mm.
by Donald Trump, and by what Nancy Pelosi have him doing to me and to my family inside of this place that we're renting,
And other places
that we've
over
lived. Yes, over
in the city
the years.
and over the years.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've been put through a lot of hell, and put us in jail for no reason other than the fact that we came to seek asylum.
In the United States,
yes,
in 2013.
Yes,
And
these are the things that they were doing. I mean, why are people being attacked in their mouths? Why is Mr. Trump using this technology to attack and remove different teeth so that he can make me look as ugly as possible? Cut off my hair. Attacking in the different places, as you were being told just now, but also driving us up the wall, following us everywhere. Nancy Pelosi gave him that technology, and he's using it unseen to come into your own home while you're sleeping, stealing what he wants. Steal most of my clothes. I probably have about 2 or 3 pants left. Another pants that I have there, I've gained weight because of the fact that I'm going through a lot of stressful situations, as well as the rest of the family. And so these are the things that are causing us these kind of problems. We are not a problem to anyone. We've never been a problem to anyone. But they're forcing themselves on us, having women come on the television that we are looking through and playing games, literally. Acting as if they have a right to come and play games with your husband. Some friends, too, in the United States, when I was working with them, I think, they were acting as if, they've never seen a man before. I mean, everywhere they turn and they see a man, suddenly they're treating people's husbands or their boyfriends or, as if it's all about them. And that's not fair. There are people who have their partners and want to stay with their partners, and they would like to know that they're being respected, because they're not going out and disrespecting anyone by going to play up with anybody's husbands or wives. The right thing to do is to be respectful of people. If you don't know how to behave, don't come by their television and act as if you have a right to be able to behave like you're a dog in heat. And sending children to humiliate and degrade by things that they're saying or told to say. These people killed out my family. They put us through a great deal of hell. We're still going through hell. It hasn't stopped. This is like a 24/7 type of persecution. Yes, thank you. And this is what we're going through. We are trying to look after ourselves and doing the best job what we can, and we are being unfairly treated. Sometimes they come, when we put on the TV, there's somebody, another female or some others hanging at different places, or even if they are doing the stuff when they're interviewing or speaking to people. Yeah. People have to stop behaving as if everybody wants to go with them. They have to realize they can't just go stealing people's husbands or their wives or playing games and terrorizing the people. This is what creates anger in a lot of people, from how they're being treated, from the fact that the systems are not set up to protect the people, but they want to control the people to do what they would like the people to do. The people were here before any systems. The people must have the right to be able to train their children, make sure that they're well looked after, and they're given the training that is necessary to keep everyone safe, even the neighbors safe. And what I'm seeing is a lot of people who might have gotten proper training are being abused, verbally persecuted for being so respectful and caring. That's what we are supposed to do. Develop our care for ourselves, and we can then protect each other in how we treat them, not disrespect them. Not go and think that you must go and work for the man 24/7 and your children are dying or going through all kinds of hell while others are persecuting and terrorizing them and there's nobody there to watch them. It's important that we start thinking of the rights of all beings. Everyone is capable of quality. And when we rob them of those qualities by calling them bad names, looking down at them for no reason, treating them as if they're garbage, laughing and ridiculing them for no reason, These are not the things that we are supposed to do as human beings. We are supposed to care about each other. We are supposed to be there for each other in the right way. You have a husband at home, you have a wife at home, then you treat people properly. You don't have to go with them because they're another person in your family are not there. You're supposed to be there for your family. Treat people with respect. Let them know that you care about all of them, but in a respectful way, not to be in bed with them or not to go and destroy another person's families and destroying kids by terrorizing them.
Mm.
We have to be the kind of human beings we were born to be. And the only way we can be that is when we are getting proper training long before we go into the school systems, long before we start working. These are things that needs to be done. And we have to take care of our family of all nationalities because they are our family. We should be respectful. We should be protective if we need to be. And do the kind of things that you know very well would make people feel comfortable and happy without looking for ways to attack and abuse another person. When you treat everyone with the love and respect that all people have a right to, and I don't mean love in the way in which you hop in bed. I'm speaking about how you connect verbally, how you treat each other, and why we do not have the right to insult or degrade anyone. We have to do the right thing. If we want to live in a society that works for everybody, we have to do it in a way in which brings everyone together and have them recognize that they're cared for by all beings and they're not here to be taken advantage of or do the wrong things to. Take responsibility for our actions. And when we send our children to school, make sure that they're going to be respectful by how we treat them and how we expect them to behave when they're at home or anywhere else. Teachers and doctors, all kinds of human beings should be very careful and be respectful. When we are practicing those behaviors, you will see the smile on people's faces rather than people who are angry or want to abuse or terrorize or persecute you.
Mm.
We have to start recognizing that we are beings who have a right to do the right job to make sure all beings are treated respectfully and responsibly by treating them carefully. Make sure we don't insult, make sure that we don't ridicule, make sure we don't do the things that is bringing people into behaviors that they normally would not be practicing in the first place. So we have to be there for each other. And if we are married, we should work together as a couple, not look for other men or women to go and be with.
Mm.
And if you get older, nothing is wrong with old age. What's wrong with anything is how we are treating others in the situations that they're in and mistreating them, making them believe they're less than because they don't look like you. I could never do that to another person. That's wrong. They're all our families, and we have to be caring and respectful in how we treat them. But we don't have to go and sleep with each other's husbands and wives. It's the wrong thing to do.
Mm. True.
Respect starts in how we treat each other and the care we show for all beings, that we can trust each other rather than mistrust. When you're trained properly, there's no mistrust. You realize what it feels like to be there for others as they are there for you too when you need help. Not necessarily materialistic or anything else, or it could be that, and we have to help them. But if the society is doing the right things, then everybody will be able to live properly. They'll be able to make their money. They would not be treated as if they have no rights to speak out when things are being done wrong. That's how you clean up your environment, by making sure everybody is behaving responsibly as well as yourself. Excuse me. We want to see our family members of all nationalities behaving responsibly because they can do this. We want to know that teachers and students, um, older people or younger people, we have to be there for each other in the right way too. they do not have certain things and we have and we can help, yes, we should help. And if we don't have that we can help in other ways by making sure that they're properly cared for and helping each other as we go along. We are each other's keepers, my human brothers and sisters.
Yes.
And it's time for us to come together and be there for each other. Bonds of pure and sacred light glue each of us together now and forever. Whatever harm is done to one wounds you, me, and everyone. Values today are being thrown away by people each and every day. They sacrifice their families, ruin their health, and destroy their marriages, chasing social status and material wealth. Nations today are fighting old battles started by nations of yesterday, regardless of what the citizens do or say, or the cost in mortal lives every day. It is everyone's business to get involved and solve every problem that they can. Once we start working to find solutions, we start becoming part of the problems.
Plaguing
every land,
every nation. We're each other's keepers.
Yes.
My human sisters and brothers. And it's time for us to come together and be there for each other.
Yes.
If we cannot help each other,
let us try not to hurt one another, because whatever we do deeply touches me and you.
Ancient knowledge, timeless truths, brought to you by the great goddess who lived amongst you as different deities and iconic beings, such as Queen Elizabeth I of England and Scotland, Joan of Arc, heroine of France, different beings. Mentioned Lady Harriet Tubman. She lives amongst you as Lord Krishna, Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus. The great goddess is the one who brought existence into being and beings into existence. And she did so, guys, by dreaming herself into existence, dreaming existence into being, and dreaming beings into existence. And she performed this inconceivable, incomprehensible, and indescribable feat thousands of trillions of years ago. That's how old existence is. Not what your science and scientists have told you about the spontaneous explosion that created a big bang that brought existence into being.
And beings into existence.
Or what religions tell you, Western religions, that the universe was created thousands of years ago by a wrathful, egotistical, angry God of a 7-day period, or them telling you that you've been on this planet for 200,000 years as the human race, who are the products of natural selection through evolution, as Charles Darwin and other scientists have told you. These are misinformation taught to you by people who wants to make sure that they divide the human race into different groups, religious groups, political groups, economic groups, social groups, so that they can control and use you to compete, to fight, to argue about who is right and wrong about an issue, like which God is a true God, which path is a true path, which way of life is correct. They divide you into groups, and instead of helping you to celebrate and honor and recognize the differences that you have as members of different groups, they teach you to see each other as adversaries who must compete to survive, and the fittest amongst you is supposed to be the ones who are going to survive the best. These lies have been taught to you by those over time who do not have your best interest at heart, and who keep coming back to this planet to tell you all kinds of lies, to deceive, to misinform, to undermine, to disempower you, your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, your psyche, so that they can keep you living as puppets and pawns and prisoners and slaves from the cradle to the grave. But Avatars here the great goddess, to upgrade the human race, because it's time for you to grow up as a species. It's time for you to start to unite your qualities, male, female qualities.
Mhm.
It's time for you to remove the vices permanently and practice the virtues. It's time for you to become inclusive and tolerant and caring and respectful towards not only your life, but other life forms in life. And as the Avatar teaches, it's time for you to start recognizing that we're equals forever, no matter who.
Or what we are
And none of us.
is better than the other. Whether you're a woman or a man, a boy or girl, or have all the money in the world. If you think that you are superior to someone else, it is only because you feel inferior inside yourself.
Mhm.
There are things that we have to speak about too. Um, as I said, my family were killed out,
Mhm.
and
Assassinated.
yes, and I escaped to Canada, and when I came here, I found that I couldn't understand what was happening in where we were
Mm.
in Canada. But we were staying in different places where I slept, and I was being attacked from the very first time I entered Canada. I was being attacked while sleeping. I still could not understand what was going on. Also, I recognized that in order for me to be able to protect myself, I have to keep my eyes open to look at everything that is happening,
Mhm.
so that I'll be able to know to protect myself and family. But a lot of different things started happening. My memory was wiped out
Mhm.
by Donald J. Trump using the technology that Nancy Pelosi gave him to use. But they were supposed to pay me the money that they owed me from what they had done to my family.
Mhm.
And so far, I haven't been paid a cent. And Nancy Pelosi told Prime Minister Trudeau not to pay me any money for
Mm.
what they did to my family, because she's the one who used both of them to kill out my family. And then they made remarks that were disrespectful towards my family.
Mm.
I want the government to do the right thing, because they did damage to our daughter, and in many ways. And we would like to have the money so that we can move on and get a place of our own, so that we can then get our daughter back in shape, and her mind working properly as it works well. But we would like to know that she feels much better from all the hell that she's been put through
Mhm.
in the United States and in Canada. Do you know that when I came to Canada, the United States brought a set of people to and said that I have we did what to our family? This is what happens. I'm listening. I'm talking about something, and immediately the information is wiped out from my memory. That's not how I spoke in the past.
Mhm.
I was
You're a
considered.
verbal martial artist,
Yes.
flawless, eloquent, concise, accurate, insightful, illuminating, enlightening
Yes.
information that she shared to me and to human beings. And then the attacks on the cavities of the brain for decades have managed to fracture connection with her conscious memory.
Yeah.
And today she struggles just to be able to recall
To
things
remember things.
from it's been like minutes ago or hours ago, days. Or,
Well, there's something I recall.
Mhm.
Um, Trump, President Trump, they said, or
It used to be former
former President Trump,
President Trump.
would take the technology that Nancy Pelosi gave him, and he would slice the inside of my ear
Mhm.
down to my throat. And I would get up in the morning, and I would be in extreme pain. And I would feel my every movement in my body would cause this extreme pain on the side of my face.
Mhm.
I could not eat properly. I could not sleep properly because of that, what was done. Now, which part I was speaking about again?
Well, since you're talking about crimes being done to you by Donald J. Trump,
Mm-hmm.
he's sliced They have it as throw it from the inside, from one corner to the next, 3 different
Mhm.
times. You told
Straight
me.
across from the ear,
Mhm.
coming right
Mhm.
down to the nape of the neck here, and he slashed the inside, and I was bleeding for quite a few weeks,
Mm.
and also too, he would put mucus, poisoned mucus, into my head and put it, make sure it goes down to the rest of my body, and
Trying to give you COVID.
yes,
Mhm.
trying to do me in.
Mhm.
And he's been trying to kill me for some time, like he killed Michael Jackson in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson. Go
yes,
ahead, continue. I will leave that for another time.
yeah. What is I talking about again?
Crime has been committed against you by Donald Trump wearing a cloak of invisibility that looks like a material made of a silicone
Texture.
texture that's made of a synthetic texture, transparent synthetic texture that's lined with a silicone substance. We call it
Mm-hmm.
a cloak of
Of
invisibility.
invisibility. Yes.
So he's committing crimes against human beings unseen. Now, this man is a known sexual predator. He has about 2 dozen women in the US filing lawsuits about being sexually assaulted, molested,
Raped.
raped
Yeah.
by Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
And to put this device in the hands of a sexual predator
Predator.
to go around unseen and commit crimes against human beings, especially women, that is an irresponsible, disgraceful, dishonorable thing for anyone to do.
I would be walking down the streets or going out with my husband, and he would be attacking me in the womb
Mhm.
or in the rectum
Mhm.
while I'm walking. I'm at home, same problem.
Mm.
He comes in unseen, start behaving in such a manner. You're sitting down on the bed or you're lying down, and you're here feeling this thing being done to you, and you have to get up and try to push whatever it is off. You
Mm.
can't see the person, you can only feel it. And Trump was the type of person that was doing things like that to other people.
Mm.
We want the governments to start doing the right thing and stop allowing human beings to do wrong things to other people, interfering with their body. And then someone like Nancy Pelosi gives him the right to be able to do that. Also, she and Trump came into the same place that we are living right now, not right in his side of here, but for the to the people in the that owns the building, uh, and was giving them all kinds of stuff to be able to get away with what they were doing to us.
Mm.
This is not right. We were being attacked all through the process. Couldn't find anybody to help us.
We called the police dozens of times in the city.
And the police couldn't find him because he's invisible.
Yes.
And Nancy Pelosi is supposed to be dealing with these kind of problems because she gave him that technology to use so that he can terrorize us,
Mm.
especially me. I spoke to her once, and she was really very nice. I was surprised to see that she was the person that is using Trump to do this damage to me.
As an
Follow me wherever I go.
Yes,
Sorry.
no, go ahead, speak.
Follow me wherever I go.
Mm.
Excuse me. Attack me in the womb, in the rectum, in the head, anywhere, everywhere.
Yes.
This should not be taking place.
Mm.
And yet, when I try to get some help, nobody's is there to help. Can't get help from the police. The police can't see him. I can't get help from the other systems. They said the systems are closed.
Yes.
Why is this being allowed? Why are people being neglected while people like Mr. Trump is doing all of this damage and getting away with it, and nobody does anything because he's a guy and he's Caucasian? Now, if the person was African, they would have been carrying him by his legs through the streets to put him in jail. This should not be going on, ladies and gentlemen. We need to cut this prejudice stuff out because it does not help anyone. As a matter of fact, it helps to destroy other people as the process goes along. We would like to have the kind of behavior given to us as we give to people. We do not mistreat other people. We do not spend our time degrading or pulling them down. We spend our time speaking the truth about what we see the systems are using to abuse and terrorize people at times, and what other many people are going through that they can't say anything about.
Mm.
And then trying to force us to take injections that we can't trust the same people who are given the injections, because what we have seen is a lot of wrongs and things going on, and we are not being treated properly as well as many people in the environment, except for if you're Caucasian. Being Caucasian and European means that you're better than us as people of color. All beings are special. All beings are beautiful people if they are trained properly, as I said. But when you don't train them and you set them up to behave irresponsible, you're going to have all kinds of terror going on. Wake up to the reality that you cannot help people in this manner. Look at what you've done to me. Look at what your government has been doing to me. They don't want me as a gorgeous African girl to look the way she normally does. Instead, they disfigure me in order to make you see me in the way they want you to, so that you can ridicule, persecute, and degrade me. You could use their husbands, their wives, and create all kinds of problems for them. This has got to stop. And people have to listen to what is being said about what is taking place in their society, and stop persecuting them for telling the truth about what is going on with certain businesses that is causing you the problems. If it's happening, it has to be spoken of. That's how you clear things up so that things can work properly for everyone.
True.
It's not our right to persecute and terrorize and force people into a school system, and those who don't want to go is called what? Illiterates. That's not fair. Allow people to decide which way they want to go and how they would like their lives to run. It's their business. Everything the government is in their faces, doing whatever they want with the people's property. Stealing our coats, stealing our shoes, stealing, everything you can possibly steal. Trump is part of the theft.
He's the chief.
He's stealing like crazy our things that we have, little things that we have. We bought whatever little we can. You make sure it's our money. We're not stealing from anyone. Get our money, we buy our stuff, and we're getting treated this way. We're getting our things stolen. I've been going through that all the time in the United States. When I came to Canada, I thought it would be perfect. And Canada is not a bad place. It's just that they're allowing the wrong things to go into their country again now. And this is causing the problem for Canada too. This should not be going on, ladies and gentlemen. We are human beings, not animals. And animals should be treated properly too. All forms of life should be well treated. If we really want to live in a beautiful place, we have to make it beautiful by how we treat each other.
True.
My daughter has been terrorized. Nobody cared. We have been terrorized. Nobody cared. Well, we want our lives back. We want our money, and we want to be able to look after ourselves. So we are telling Nancy Pelosi, since you can use Trump to do these kind of things to this family, and we have done nothing to Trump and you, and yet you're sending Trump to terrorize and try to kill us? Like you told him to kill Michael Jackson? Why would you do that? We love Michael Jackson and their family especially. They're good, very good people, and they were being terrorized themselves. That is not fair, and it's not right. You should see the amount of teeth they took out from my mouth and how they twisted it and pushed it on one side. Donald J. Trump. And he has other people that he I don't know, I think he used them to help him to do other damage outside.
They gang stalk his family wherever we go, especially when we lived in Toronto for 30-something years. People would come around us and perform all kinds of street theater. They would do things, say things, tell stories around us to give the impression that to cause us to feel down, unhappy, uncomfortable where we are, and they've been in gang stalking family. They targeted the avatar, treated her as if she was an enemy of the state, and me as if I was some kind of friend of the state, even though we are a couple living and working together to bring changes to human beings that they are in desperate need of bringing into their lives individually and collectively. So, this family, we have been forced to live in a state of continuous crisis, stress, duress, sleep deprivation. As a family of economic paupers, social outcasts, and political prisoners of the Canadian government, while being terrorized by agents of the American government, especially Donald J. Trump, from inside the fourth dimension, using a technology that doesn't belong on this planet today or at any time in the future because it's too advanced to be in the hands of mortal beings who are conflicted as human beings have been for a long, long time now because of what's been done to them for a number of ages by people in authority, men especially, who do not have their best interests
at
at heart. Mhm.
They have done so much to us that while my husband is speaking, I remember some of them, but
Mhm.
by the time he's finished, I'm forgotten.
Yes.
Excuse me. They have chopped off my hair. It was long past my waist.
Yeah.
Mahogany's hair too.
Mhm.
And what they, after a period of time, he kept chopping on every day, every night while I'm sleeping.
Mm.
He's chopping my hair off.
Yes.
Get up with practically no hair on my head after a while. So I have to keep trying to pull the hair in together, but then he's going and chopping the little plaits that I get out of it, chopping it off so that it doesn't get to grow as long as it was before.
Mm.
These things are things that should not be done to human beings. Why is Donald J. Trump, allowed the right to be able to come and do all of these things to us and gets away with it? And when we try to get the police or anybody else, they don't even try to go to the people who are responsible for the kind of things that are being done and get them to do the right thing. These are the things that are taking place, and the ones who are doing it are Caucasian European people. African people are the ones that are being set up to take the blame.
People of color in general are degraded, devalued, demoralized as races because they're told by the European, Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon people that they are the ones who are the master race and are entitled to all the best that human beings can enjoy and have access to.
While they spend their time kicking you around, they
Mhm.
were the ones who came. We had have two kids, and they are the ones who set up all kinds of problems for our kids in the United States. And when I came to Canada, myself and my children became separated. What the United States did was kept our children and put them in jail for talking to Caucasian kids that they came out of school with, and they were just carrying on conversation, and that's why they treated them that way.
Our son was put into the prison system unjustly.
Yes, because he was speaking to some Caucasian kids in the United States.
No,
Yes, that's what actually Nancy Pelosi did after. I think it was Nancy Pelosi. Um, that's what took place, and many other things that took place. Now, my memory is coming and going, so I don't want to be disrupted. I want to be able to remember quickly to pass it on. But
yes.
because of what happens, I completely get wiped out, forget everything, and like everything goes blank in my memory. That's what Donald J. Trump did to me. And when I try to get to the law or the court to have them help to have this stuff, I can't get the help I need. My family can't get the help we need. We're turned against each other too.
They try to use us against each other, amplify our emotions,
Abusing our children, and then the United States come to Canada to say that I killed my kids. Never killed kids. I love kids too much to kill. And I love people's babies. I love my own babies. Why would I want to kill anyone? They made up these stories so that they can make people like us look like we are bad people, that we are killers, doing all kinds of evil in the background. No, we're not. I get angry, yes. But the things that created my anger was you people in the United States, the governments, and what they did to my family, and to see what when in Canada when I came here, how Trump was using Prime Minister Trudeau to do damage to our family, and he did damage himself. We would like to have the money that they owe us because we do not have a cent, and we cannot do much with practically nothing. So we need our money, and Nancy Pelosi knows that they're supposed to pay the money, and yet they're not even answering. I gave her a number to call, and President Biden is a part of it. They were supposed to have done that. I told President Biden he will become president, and he did become president. And he and Trump would seem to work together, but nothing is done to give us our rights back. Our money, we need. Trump owes money for what he did to me too. Took out all my teeth, pulled them aside, put some up this way, and took two from the back, put it here, and push it out that way. He has my mouth in a mess. And I have no money to get my mouth fixed. It was not like this. That's what he did specifically while I'm sleeping, using the technology Nancy Pelosi gave him, and then attacking me in all parts of the body, sometimes in the breast, pulling my kneecaps up, taking the bones in the back of my body here on the derriere, and pulling it and spinning me around with it. Extreme pain. This is the kind of stuff that he was doing to me, torturing me.
Yes.
Not only torturing me, he tortured my husband by what he did to my husband. Our daughter gained extreme weight using that technology, and then raping her and sending Mr. Trudeau to do the same. And then Mr. Trudeau goes to President Biden to get help to find out what he can do about this. Apparently, whatever he told him was not good, because he came back behaving as if I had no rights. This is not how you treat people and expect that you should get away with what you're doing. No, they need to pay the money for raping my child, and Nancy Pelosi told Mr. Trudeau not to pay me the money. And Nancy Pelosi hasn't paid me a cent. And I need that money. I need to continue to look after my family, but I got mistreated in the businesses that they had in the United States, in some of them. And in Canada, did not work in anywhere in Canada because we've been put through a lot. We're still going through a lot.
Yes.
We do not have the money because games are being played. We do not have a lawyer because Mr. Trudeau is going around telling people, the lawyers, not to help us so that we don't get our money. We've been going through this for years. When we were being terrorized in jobs in the United States, and I still worked and did what I have to do, I was persecuted. There are females just come in and persecuting me, swearing, saying everything. I've not said anything to them, did not do anything to them, and that's how they were behaving. They had children in Canada making remarks to me to pull me down as a woman.
Over the decades, you've been a target of continuous harassment, persecution, and terrorization in different places that we've lived in, that we've moved through, that we've worked in. It's been a life of living hell for the avatar.
I did not come here to abuse or terrorize anyone.
Yeah.
Our family was abused and terrorized practically every day of our lives in the United States and in Canada. We are not getting help. We're getting kicked around. Nobody cares about our rights. We're violated wherever we turned.
Well, there's a group that cares about our well-being and our rights. And
What group?
That is a group that you're a member of, the Committee of Gods. They're the ones who have been serving as the highest authority in existence for an eternity. And the Avatar, the great goddess, serves as the eternal head of this divine committee, made up of trillions of gods, guys, billions of male gods and trillions of female gods. And the Committee of Gods are extremely angry with us being done to their eternal leader and her mortal family. And they are not going to continue to allow these crimes to take place against the God of all gods and their family. They are waiting to see what the US and the Canadian government will do about the compensation that they've informed these two nations is owed to the Abertana family. In the amount, well, the Abertana as the amount owed is vast because the crimes.
350 billion.
Okay.
Actually, it went to 400 billion because what they were doing was terrorizing my body, and they're using Trump to do it. Using other people to persecute and terrorize me wherever I go. Go ahead, Sam.
The reason that the Abertana is asking for this vast amount of money to be paid to her and her family is because she has a lot of people on this planet to help to improve the quality and content of their lives. Millions and millions of human beings are living impoverished, downtrodden lives, and most of them are people of African heritage. So the amount the Abertana is asking for is not for her to use for her family only, because only a small fraction of that is needed by them.
Right now, they're tapping my eyes to loosen the skin, so I will have fallen skin.
Yes.
This is what they've been doing to my body.
Yes.
This is what they're doing to my eyes, and when I'm sleeping too. This is the kind of insanity that is being done by the United States government, run by Nancy Pelosi and President Joe Biden. They were supposed to pay me my money when I remind them that they killed out my family, as Nancy Pelosi told them to kill out my family. And I haven't been paid a cent, and I have been waiting to get certain things done for my family so that we can move forward and get the things that we need to do done. We've been blocked. And then people say, "Oh, you're just lazy." No, we're not lazy. We never have been. You all didn't care to allow us to be a part of the stuff that we wanted to be a part of. You didn't care about what happened to the family. You start trying to turn the family against each other, sending people to create problems, doing all kinds of garbage, sending little boys to say that he should go with their sister.
So the issue about the compensation owed to this family, the Committee of Gods have stated that the U.S. government must stop using this futuristic technology as a weapon to attack the Abertana family and the human race, and the compensation owed to this family must be paid. The Abertana, as a 5-year-old child, had this unusual dream about the Statue of Liberty drowning in 4 stages in water that she currently stands near in Long Island. She stands about 300 plus feet. Half of that is a platform, the rest of that is her body. And the Abertana saw in 4 stages Lady Liberty covered with water, the waist first, and then up to the chest, then the neck, and then the head, and finally the torch she was holding, completely covered with water. And in that dream, the Abertana was told by one of her sister gods that the United States had disappeared from the surface of planet Earth inside the 3 waters surrounding her, 3 oceans that currently surround the United States, and that the nation called Canada also had disappeared from the surface of planet Earth, Mother Earth, Lady Gaia. So, and later on in her life, about 20 years later, when she was in Canada, we were at our leaving our voice teacher's home, Marcella, and we were about to leave to the front door, and the Abertana felt the ground shaking under her feet. She asked me and Marcella, our voice teacher, if we felt anything, and we said no. And the avatar realized immediately that this was a reminder from the earth goddess Lady Gaia that the dream she had as a child of this destination, this is a warning to the US government and to the Canadian government related for crimes done to us, and that there's technology being used to commit crimes against humans, killing millions of them and infecting the bodies of about 300 million human beings so far with something the scientists call COVID. This technology must be disabled or dismantled, and compensation owed to this family must be paid. So this is in Canada about this technology and about the crimes being committed against the Avatar and the family.
And we need to have our
And the
rights
compensation.
and our freedom.
Mhm.
We need our money so that we can go and live our lives, because I've been put through hell in different places that I've worked because of prejudices and people who decide that I look too good. So I would like to have my money right away so that I could go on United States, allow these things to go on to us. We could not get any kind of help, no matter which way we turned. And we went through years of this kind of evil going on, while people come and make remarks and say what they have to say, but it was not something that was helpful to us. We weren't doing any damage to anyone. Why were we being done damage to? We are caring people. If you had only looked within and saw the kind of people that we're carrying with us. I mean, not literally, of course, but want them to learn the right way of doing things and treating each other properly so that you don't hinder anyone. Children are being harmed. All kinds of disrespect is being mounted because of this kind of stuff that is going on. It's time for it to stop. I want to see my family and all families being treated respectfully and responsibly. We have a right to it. It's our lives.
Yes.
And the lives of all people. And so we want, what you were saying, you were going to say something?
Oh, no, I was just looking to you to see where we are as far as how much longer we want to continue this broadcast. We're almost at 1 hour, so we usually broadcast no more than 1 hour. And so
well, I can't I can't remember all the different things that we've been put through, and before I had all of it right.
It's
there.
too much.
But once you get here and it's time to speak, memory starts disappearing because Trump wiped out my memory. And since then, I've been going through this kind of hell. Before, I was considered a verbal martial artist. Now, I can't even show myself to be anything artist except modeling. I was good at, and don't no longer do it because I didn't get a chance to do it for a long time. I was blocked from a lot of things, a lot of stuff that I wanted to do and wanted to be a part of, and I got blocked. And then I saw prejudices, and then they're sending children to come and harass you. And I love kids, but not when they're sent up to do some bad things that shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
So we want Nancy Pelosi to recognize that she owes us that money and pay the money right away.
The U.S. government stole this technology from two men of science from the Avatar's birth country. Stole it from these two scientists. CIA agents murdered these two scientists, took this technology to the U.S., to their military, to their
military complex,
to their private military operation. I forgot the term. And they weaponized technology and started using it to attack human beings across the planets and nations and commit crimes from inside the fourth dimension, and to attack the Avatar's family, mother, father, sister, brother, and another relative assassinated.
I got attacked everywhere, from my head to my toe.
Lost an immortal life, terminated at least 16 different times, according to information given to me by a number of her sister gods. Myself, they tried to kill me with Donald Trump, dislodged one of my heart valves. I ended up in the hospital where I had open heart surgery. And he's used this technology to give me, try to paralyze my body with stroke, try to kill our daughter at birth, tried to drown in a public swimming pool when she was 5 years old, tried to kill the Avatar when she had our 8-month-old unborn son inside her womb, and used this technology to tell her to jump over the balcony of the 11th floor that we were living in at the time, and other crimes committed against the Avatar's immediate and extended family. So the money owed to this family is a debt that has to be paid and paid in full.
Mhm.
And there are consequences for not paying debts, comic debts and other debts. So the US and Canada are on notice that they have to do the right thing and
Pay the bill.
mhm, mhm,
See, all of this was done to me.
yes,
They were trying to age me as quickly as possible so that they can take me away, take my family apart.
yes,
Well, old or young, I am just proud to be alive, and I care about all beings, whether they look old or they look young. It doesn't matter. What matters is the quality and content of their characters.
yes.
And that's what we work towards, letting people know we care about them. They're our family. And that's what we care about, all beings.
Mm,
Children, everybody included. We don't lie on people. We speak the truth about what we know and what we've seen and what we've gone through.
yes.
And so far, I can't remember all of it.
The details are too much. Uh, the Avatar's life story is in her autobiography called a book
Autobiography
manuscript
of a
called The
God.
Autobiography of God, and it's in storage, and we haven't been able to get back to it to even look at it to try to get it to a publisher at some point in the future. And she has a number of life changing, liberating songs that
I also
some are
cannot see my
online.
eyes.
Mhm.
Would you believe I can't even see my
Yes,
face properly? And I'm seeing some pull stuff. Yeah.
yeah, diminished eyesight, all kinds of damage is done to the most evolved, developed divine being in existence, living amongst you as a woman of color, guys, who's here to upgrade the human race so that they can move into a higher
Frequency.
and live a new way of being
I'm just being attacked right now in the back of my head.
by Donald
You
Trump,
think I'm kidding you? You won't
that
believe.
coward who's trying to destroy the US, the nation, the people, trying to divide it
He's been trying to
into,
kill me using the technology Nancy Pelosi gave him.
yes,
And that's how he's able to escape without being seen from the police.
yes,
What I think that they have a right to do is head straight for the United States government and let them know that Nancy Pelosi is committing crimes in Canada, and deal with these um, problems, because they're going to go from bad to worse. Pay the money that you owe Nancy Pelosi, and make sure that you do not do damage to anybody again in the future. Treat people with respect. Don't think it's about you alone. And you lied on me. You told people that I raped my baby sister. What a awful thing for you to say.
mm,
I never did any such thing, and I never will. Nancy, I'm disappointed in you. I expected more of you, because the first time I met you, you were like a really nice human being. And then right after that, Trump started following me all over the place trying to kill me.
unseen.
You set up Trump to kill me like you set up Trump to kill Michael Jackson.
Yes, MJ
Yes.
told me 2014 in our home at Scott Street, he said, Andregon, as I hovered above my lifeless body, as I hovered near the ceiling and stared down at my lifeless body, I saw these two shadows giving each other a high five.
Right.
And over the course of 10 years, I've had the opportunity to hold dozens of conversations with MJ inside our home at Den Spring Grove in Toronto, where he shared a wealth of information, comments, insights with me. And I haven't recorded any of it in paper or on tape. It's in my head. But MJ is not the being that has been portrayed to be by those who made sure that they robbed him of his mortal life and his wealth, and basically plundered and tried to demonize and devastate the legacy of the greatest entertainer ever to live on the surface of planet Earth.
Do you know they're coming inside of this place where we are renting and is attacking and stealing and
Yeah,
behaving irresponsible?
Donald Trump
Mhm.
teleports in and out like a flash using a technology that is thousands of years ahead of anything that has been created so far by human race in the early decades of the 21st century. We're past an hour,
You know, let's just.
so let's
Can't remember. My memory is wiped out. He did that. So what I'll do is, as I remember, I'll try to get my husband to put them down.
no, just keep speaking. Your memory will come back once this attack stops, and you have the opportunity for your
Excuse me.
mind to heal,
Yeah.
to be repaired, because being who you are, that process will happen faster and easier for you than for other beings because of the level of development that you bring and the connection you have to all of life. Being the being who brought all of this into existence and all of existence into being. It's 1 hour and 7 minutes, so we can.
Blessings to you all, and it was a pleasure speaking to you, even if I couldn't remember a lot of it. I wish you all the best.
Yes.
We do.
Yes, we
And
do.
we wish all beings all over the world learn how to behave respectfully and responsibly so that we can connect properly.
Yes.
Blessings. You've been watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Electra and Andragon on YouTube Live. Have a great night. Mwah. Love you all.